Wednesday, May the 7th. Lake level's about 914, about the same as it was, hadn't changed very much. Water temperature's anywhere from 62, 63 degrees to as high as 70, depends where you're at on the lake. Most of the water's really clear, and that seems to be all pretty much the same temperature. If you get, back in a pocket where it's got a lot of rocks, where the sun's reflecting off the rocks, it'll be a little warmer. And I found a little bit of stain in, like up in Ants Creek and in some of the river arms, that water was up to about 70 degrees today. I need to give a shout out to the guys at Steel City Bassmasters. We did a little seminar down there 2 weeks ago. They were down for their annual spring tournament. The guys put on a great feast. They always feed us good, and it's always a good time to visit with them guys. But their weights in their tournament, they had I think a 24-pound stringer and a couple 23-pound stringers. Now that's, two guys, and they're allowed 6 fish apiece. So I think the guys that won had like 11 keepers. And that's about what the average, about a 2-pound average. That's where the pile up seems to be in all the tournaments. You can catch a ton of fish right now. A lot of fish in the 10 to 12 pound range if you get 5 keepers. If you get a couple big bites, you're apt to get in that 14, 15 pound range, you're apt to win. Now yesterday we had Cops for Kids annual tournament here on Table Rock. Had over 150 boats, and everybody was piled up in that 10 to 12 pound range. And I think there was 2 or 3 stringers over 15 pounds, and then a couple 15s and 14s, and then everybody was, I think the top 10 might have been 13 pounds out of 150 boats. So, like I said, a lot of fish being caught, pretty much all the same size. But that's really a good tournament that the Cops for Kids put on. They raised over like $4,000 for kids with special needs as far as their medical and dental. And also, some of the guys that are affiliated with the Steel City Bassmasters have a program. It's called Shields and Waters. And what they do is they try to get kids out fishing that normally wouldn't have the opportunity to. Now, the guys put a lot of their own time into it, and it's great to see the police officers spending their own time doing that for the community. And that's in Granite City, Illinois. So if you need any information about that, you can go to copsforkids.com, and from there you should be able to get the Shields and Waters website if you need any more information. Now, as far as the fishing, we're catching fish all kinds of different ways. I think I mentioned last week that a person didn't have to fish much deeper than 12 to 15 foot. Well, the lake got through turning over and the water got really, really clear. I mean, a lot of places you can see the bottom in 18 to 22 feet. And what that's done, it's brought a lot of them fish out there deeper. And a lot of the fish still haven't spawned. Most everything we're catching out on them main lake and secondary points, especially the Kentuckys, are still loaded with eggs. We're catching a lot of smallmouth that look like they've spawned out. The largemouth seem to be kind of hiding out from everybody right now. Now, there's still some fish spawning, and I don't even think we're at the heart of the spawn yet. I could be wrong, but I think we got a full moon, going to be like Tuesday or Wednesday, and I think we're going to see a big wave of big fish coming in the next week or so. Most of the fish you've seen up there on the beds, have been 2-pound fish, maybe a 3-pound fish. And I think the guys that won the tournament yesterday said they were sight fishing, and they had one almost 6 pounds. It seemed like everybody that was in the top 10 had a 4 or 5 pound kicker. But I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of them bigger fish on the beds, and we're going to start to see more post-spawn fish. The post-spawners I've seen have been some largemouths and smallmouths. I don't even think a lot of the Kentuckys have spawned yet. So we got that to look forward to. But a lot of the fish that I'm catching, the most consistent thing, it doesn't really matter who you talk to, what end of the lake they're fishing. A little split shot rig, Carolina rig, shaky head, a little finesse worm. What's working best for me is a Zoom fish doctor or centipede and a green pumpkin, watermelon candy. And instead of throwing the split shot, what I've got here is basically just a miniature Carolina rig on a spinning rod using, 6 or 8 pound line. And what that does, you know, the split shot's a little light, so if you're fishing it out to 20 foot, especially with the wind that we've had, you have a hard time staying in contact with the bottom. This helps you keep a little bit better contact with the bottom. Now you can throw a Carolina rig with a 3/4 ounce or half ounce weight, but a lot of the bites are so light, I find I feel and get twice as many bites with the lighter line, so that's pretty much why I'm keying with it. Most of these fish are on main lake secondary gravel points, and it seemed like the last 2 or 3 days we've gotten more bites off of the points, you know, just insides for the first 100, 200 feet. Now you can get way in the very backs where there is some fish spawning, and those seem to be smaller fish. A lot of the keeper size, or you know, the ones that are 14 and a half, which it seems like, I think today my guys kept count, I think we had 58 fish and like 9 keepers. So the keeper ratio to short fish is, you know, you got to catch a lot of fish to catch a keeper, but it's fun. You know, a lot of them short fish that you're catching, I mean, they're all within 1/8 of an inch or so of keeper size fish, so they're a ball to catch. But I think we're going to start seeing some bigger ones. Another way I'm catching them kind of out in the same areas is I'm throwing this is a pig sticker. It's called a pig rig. It's like a half ounce football head. The hook swivels on it. Same thing as like a biffle hard head. I think Chomper's got one called a wobble head. And I've been using different baits on it. A lot of Zoom speed craws. You can throw actually a trick worm or a finesse worm on this. And what I've got here is a Strike King. It's been working really well for me. It's a Strike King Rage Craw. Now, if you can find them, the Strike King Menaces are working real good too. The reason I say find them is after Mark Davis, I think, took 2nd place in that BASS here, using one of these type of heads with a Menace Strike King bait. The stores have been sold out and they're having trouble keeping them in stock. But if you can't find them, the Rage Craw will work, or Speed Craw, Twin Tail Chompers, a lot of different baits will work. Now, something that's going to get better and better is as more of these fish move in the backs of these pockets to spawn. I had a pretty good fluke bite going a week or so ago. It seemed like, maybe almost 2 weeks, when that first wave of fish came in. Then it's kind of died off. Well, I think that's just going to get stronger and stronger back in these spawning pockets, especially the pockets that are a little steeper, got the ledge rock. You want to throw like a white fluke, watermelon candy fluke, or a straight watermelon, or even a bubblegum fluke. As more and more fish get back in there cruising, that fluke bite, wacky rig Cinco, there's almost any kind of bait you can throw and get bit right now. The topwater bite, you know, it's been a little bit in the morning, but here within the next, you know, couple weeks after them fish get done spawning, and the shad are going to start spawning when the water gets to 70 degrees, them shad get up there, start spawning around them boat docks and around them trees. That topwater bite's going to get better, and, you know, like I say, we've got the next 2 months, I think, is going to be phenomenal fishing. Everything's going to last a lot longer this year before the fish move out real deep. So, until next week, good luck, good fishing.